Okay, welcome back to another Catharsis Healing Talk. My name is Helmut, and I am here with the usual crew, Laura Philpot and Lora Keddie. Hi, guys. And of course, Kay. Hi, Kay.
Hi.
And today we are introducing Kay's latest book, Kay's latest creation, The Seven No-Nos. We're going to ask how the Seven No-Nos came about, and what the book is about, and why the seven no-nos are so important for a journey to awakening and freedom, as the subtitle says. And we're also going to ask her of why people should read it, what the book brings to the reader. And I guess with that, if you want to find out more, you can get the link on that image here or the QR code. And the link is to Amazon, where you can pre-order the book. It's available for pre-order on Amazon. Or you can also go to our website, catharsis.com, KATASEE.com. And lastly, if you like the show, if you like our work and the teachings, like the video, subscribe, comment, share, all the good stuff. And let's dive into it. Kay, tell us about the no-nos and where you got those.
Excuse me. I got them from my teachers, the Hedikas, Damano and Chia Hedika of Peru. And when they were teaching me they're from the Amazon area, they spoke English, but a broken English with a thick accent. And they would say things a lot. I think normally in their own tribe, with their own youngsters that they are teaching these ways, educating them and teaching them all the old secrets and everything. They don't have quite as much confusion or misunderstanding or belligerence from their students that I gave them when I was their student, especially in the beginning. So they would keep saying the same sort of partial sentence about no, don't, no blind beliefs, no judgment. You can't condemn. You can't do that. You have to learn not to think that way. Your thinking's broken. So we had this whole list of things that kept coming up with no and no. And so I decided to nickname it and shorten it a little and call them the no-nos. And they thought that was fun and funny. And that's what they've been ever since. And that's how I've taught my students now since, over 30 years. These are the no-nos. These are these concepts that help us get rid of the thinking errors that we have. I'm sure most people have heard that term, thinking errors. And the way the Hedikas taught me about the ancient teachings, everything that we learn how to think, the structure of our thinking, the way that we're thinking, what we're thinking, the order of it, all of it, it's upside down and backwards. It's corrupt. We've learned how to think in a corrupted way, and we've learned how to think corrupted things, and we've learned how to build a society out of this thinking that is, we can see all around us, it's very corrupt, and it's falling apart, and it's going crazy. And what the No-Nos book is about is we have these 7 favorite no-nos. There were a couple of more that would pop up now and then, but this is the heart of what they taught me, what I teach others. And these help break that upside down and backwards way of thinking. And That keeps us asleep. The upside down, backwards corruption keeps us numb and fogged out and living in programming and reacting on automatic pilot to everything in our lives and everybody. We have pre-written scripts about what we should be saying, what is the right thing to do or say in this instance. And we learned how to get out of it. That's what the practices are. We learned how to train ourselves to see the upside down and backwards and see the corruption and see what's underneath. There's a beauty. There's this astounding beauty of aliveness and life and love and peace and our connectedness. Everything that is sacred and beautiful has been buried under this correction.
Okay, you answered most of the questions right away. Can you go into more detail of how the Seven No-Nos do that? Help us change our thinking and our corrupt thinking.
The pattern is to start looking at your thinking. You start looking like going into some kind of quiet state, a space where you're not interrupted. There's no noise, there's not a TV, and you don't have a computer there and all. The phone's not there, etc. It's a quiet space that guaranteed to stay that way for at least a little while. And you get yourself inside quiet. And we're in such a habit of babbling. They just bubble up, this babble of all the corruption and all this thinking about this and this way and this and that. And it's all upside down and backwards. It's corrupt. We've lost our morals. We've lost our ethics. We've lost touch with our spirituality and how to get to it. A lot of people don't even think spirituality actually exists, that we don't really have a spiritual side to our being, but we do. We really do. And the ancients talk about that as being the largest piece of our beingness. We got a physical piece and a mental piece and an emotional piece, but the spiritual piece, this is non-linear, non-matter, unseen. It's the biggest part. It is the most dynamic and the most beautiful and with the strongest feelings and emotions. This is where the beauty lies. This is where it comes from. This is where the love comes from. And so you want to watch your thoughts, and you see this like a choo-choo train in front of you. As you're sitting there in your quietness, just going by, the thoughts drifting off. And if you study it, if you look for it, you'll see where it's broken. You'll see how it's upside down. You'll see that there are other things. There's a full another beingness as that choo-choo train goes off, the thoughts go off, and it's quiet. It's just truly quiet for a few minutes. And if you look at that space, if you feel it, if you let yourself feel it emotionally, spiritually, physically, everything, it is just expansive and more expansive. And it's love. It's love and beauty and peace and harmony. And that's what we are underneath the corruption, under the garbage. And what the no-nos do, what this no-no book does for you, is to get you to see this and feel it and understand that it's real. And it's controlling your life and making your life chaos and miserable and upside down and backwards. And we want to get back on our feet and in control of ourselves, in control of our feelings and our emotions and our thoughts. And this is the best way to start watching it. And as you see this corruption, you see a belief that you have, or one of the no-nos that you have. That, oh man, I do that one all the time. I'm guilty of that no. It's like, that gets me. I watch it. Why does it work? How does it work? Why is it so strong? You watch it and you question it. We question our beliefs, and we question the no-nos as they come up, as we're finding them. We question everything we can about them and their validity. And are they real? Is this really part of my life? Do I need this? Is this, maybe it's a belief about other people, and then you start questioning that. Do these other people really have these qualities that the belief says? And it's always pointing the finger and going, I don't know, and blaming and somebody else or some other group or some other whole race of people, another whole group on another continent, another country. And we think we hate them. We have that belief about not trusting them, hating them. They're all bad. It's nothing good about them. Is that really true? Can you really sit there in the quiet space and look at that and feel it and say that you can honestly believe all of that? Everything, every stupid thing that the masks and the beliefs and the no-nos are saying. And they say some really bizarre, convoluted, upside down and backwards and funny things and awful things. Sometimes that the things they believe are really awful, and they have an awful feeling that goes with them. And we can't judge ourselves about this. It's not about judging yourself. It's about noticing and questioning. And when you really get into it, you start noticing there's more and more and more. Write them down. Get a tablet, start making a list.
So there are 7 of those, obviously. And you go into each one of them in the book and describe what they do, how they affect your life when you engage them.
Exactly.
And there are also practices and instructions and teachings about how to change it, how to let them go.
Yes. Yeah.
One of my favorite things, I mean, it's when I read the book the first time, it reminded me of the 4 Agreements, in the way it's kind of the way the information is presented with these 7 no-nos. But it's like what you're saying, it's like it's so amazing, and it's put in this book so simply. It's just like it's just we've used the phrase digestible. Like it's easy to digest the concepts. It was like I was reading this and going through some of the no-nos. Laura has the list. She can read stuff.
We should read them off.
Yeah.
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 And
The 7 no-nos.
Yeah.
No blind beliefs, no judgments, no expectations, no assumptions, no jumping to conclusions, no arrogance, and no negative perceptions.
Yeah. I love the stories in the book. I mean, the book has these great stories about different people going through these experiences. You going through these experiences, and other students and people going through these experiences, and then some other really great medicine stories in there too. But you can, those 7 no-nos, you explain them clearly, what they are. And then the practices of how to identify them and let them go are very simple. I think the biggest thing a person would need to do is find the time, to sit there and do it, even though they could quickly jot them down at any time. I have my running list now of no-nos as they pop up so I can look at them. But I love that. And I love how the other part, and there's aspects in the book where you have people feel in their body where that hits. And I was hoping you'd talk a little bit about that, that physical connection.
We have a physical part to us. Obviously, here we are. We're in 3D time space with a physical body, and it has senses, and we feel things in all these different ways with these senses, and we have emotions that help us feel things in a certain way. And we want to be able to focus our attention in such a way that we are observing through our senses, and that we're observing through our emotions. We're observing through our mind. And it expresses itself, all this spiritual stuff and emotional stuff and the mental twisting and the chaos that all that upside down, backwards turning thinking is created. It ends up being expressed and reflected in your physical body. And there isn't an inch anywhere in your body, inside and outside on the surface, that it's not going to try to start expressing itself. And this upside down and backwards turning thinking and being and feeling and the culture and even our food, everything. It affects our bodies. It affects our health, and in a negative way. And we end up with gut problems, and we end up with joint problems and muscle problems and maybe blood problems or liver or kidney or all kinds of things, problems in our brain, problems with thinking. When we do this practice, it's the subtle part of you, the unseen part of you is working energetically through your body. It's trying to undo this stuff. It's trying to release it and let it go. Or sometimes it feels like it lets it kick up a little storm, and you feel the big butterflies or 6 nausea feeling in your gut. Or sometimes it feels like a sharp pain. And this is you trying to fix you. This is you showing you about what you need to change if you want to heal, if you want to grow up, if you want to wake up, truly wake up out of all this fog, this programming, that you're going to have to undo this stuff on the inside of you and let it go. Give it up. Turns out we're very addicted to it. We've had it our whole lives. We've been taught it since the time that we were super little. So we have a lot of addictive patterns to these no-nos, to the beliefs, the blindly held beliefs, and that anything that has to do with the upside down, backwards turning wheel energies and ideas, and that gives us a whole new twist on how to address this, how to look at this when you're in that quiet space and you're looking inside yourself. You're looking in your own feelings and your own mind and your own emotions. You're trying to reach that spiritual edge of yourself. You have the physical reflections of all of that. You have to watch it. As you do in the practices, you're encouraged to watch your body. What's happening? Where is it? Is it in your throat? Does you feel like you're being choked to death? Is it in the middle of your gut? Does that really hurt bad? Is it in your back someplace? Or it feels like, oh, your heart has started going the wrong way, beating the wrong way? Did you get a headache? Did all of this just start feeling like ache, fog and ache in your head physically? And it could be anything, any kind of physical symptom at all. We just watch for it. And it tells you what's happening. If you feel into it, it'll tell you why that's there, how to get there. You'll feel
love
it.
it.
You'll hear it. Yeah.
I love it. Laura, were you about to say something?
Yeah. I was going to say, I was writing a review for Kay's latest book, which I'm very excited about because, frankly, there's a lot of us that are going to be listening right now to this conversation. And if we could have woken ourselves up a long time ago, we would have done it, right? This book contains the principles. Here's the steps to do it. You're not, I mean, it's going to give you the opportunity to look at your habits of thinking that is just producing the experience you've been producing. And in my review, I said, oh, how are you doing? Are you feeling abundant? Are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling hopeful? Are you feeling confident? If you're not, if you're feeling a little bit stressed, a little bit off balance, you got some fear going on, maybe your relationships aren't doing so well, whether it's work, your family, your friends, or just what you're seeing out there in society. This gives you the tools, the principles to process it and choose to experience what you're seeing from your authentic self, from unconditional love. Because otherwise, you're just being pulled around and experiencing from habit. It's like you said, that train is going through. Once you can get so you can witness, that's not me. That thing that's going in front of me, that's going by, that's not me. I'm the one witnessing that. And I have a choice right here and right now what I'm going to believe and what I'm going to feel and where I'm going to feel it in my body. And once you can get a hold of your habits, it's life-changing. When Kay talks about beauty and freedom and being authentic, and I know most people want to go, I'm not corrupt. Our society has got us corrupt. And this book is so wonderful because it helps you point out, oh, hey, that thinking right there is going to get me a little different perspective than what I really want, because it's not a perspective of love and unlimited and freedom. It's not beauty, and it's not going to bring me health. And then at that point, you get to make a choice. This book is so wonderful. And, you can hold the book as much as you like, but if you aren't going to do the practices, you won't have as much impact. But I mean, like you lay it all out there. And like I said, some people might want to that's not me. That's an ask. That's a belief. We have so much more control. Have you ever walked into a room where someone's been arguing and you can just feel it? Maybe they're not arguing at this time, but you can feel it. That energy, now multiply that in our population people, and it's just all over the place. We have control right now in our little micro environment here, but that little micro environment affects all the planet. So this book is so important because once you get this here, it's just like dominoes. It's going to affect all of the planet. So, yeah.
I love it.
Well,
I agree. No, I agree with Laura. It's just, I was talking to Kay about the book too. It's like if we had learned this, because they're such simple guidelines. Like if we learned this when we were in kindergarten or growing up, no blind beliefs, no arrogance, no judgments. It's just like, can you imagine the planet this would be? It was just like, it was, it's, and it's contagious. We're in this habit of looking out and wanting other people to fix themselves. This book is about, looking here.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all about looking here and addressing here. And I love that, A Guide to Awakening, and Kay, you were talking about it, but the freedom is the thing that, following the no-nos, I've had both, but that freedom, you don't know how these things like judgment, arrogance, and blind beliefs are just trapping you, and they're hiding the freedom. Oh, and they're hiding my favorite, Kay's the title of the intro, "The heavens are pouring down tsunamis of love." I mean, I love that title, and I love the artwork. Right? It's just like the artwork, Kay's original artwork, which the cover shows the petroglyphs. Okay, these are outstanding. These are all Kay painted those. These are all, they're throughout the book. It's a beautiful book in so many ways, but the tsunamis.
Can you open it up so the inside pictures?
Yeah, you want to see
Oh, beautiful.
aren't those incredible? There's 2 pages of them. These are all paintings that Kay has done. They're medicine in themselves. They're absolutely incredible.
And they're in the background between
Yeah.
the inner pages. I don't know how much it's going to come across.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll see all of them throughout the book on the screen.
I want to jump in here before we get deeper into the petroglyphs.
Oh, sorry.
To what Laura said about doing the practices to make this really work. We want you to know you are not on your own. There's resources in the book. There will be a workbook coming pretty soon. And there's a community that goes through these processes together. So if you so choose, there are other people who will be working on that with you and with Dolores.
Yeah, the community is fantastic. We have a Discord group that actively works on our masks, as we call it, and working towards our song. But we have a Seven No-Nos group on Discord. It's a private group and it's free and it's open to the public for those who want to register and join us. And that information on how to join us is also on the website. If you go to the 7nonos.com, spelled out, or the number 7, you can find how to join the No-Nos community. You can learn all the different ways to pre-order the book now and or sign up for a future workshop that's coming soon, and the workbook. The workbook that goes with this. These are very tangible, very easy, understandable concepts that are meant to be played with in the way that Kay rolls it out. You can't go to battle with them. You got to play with them.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kay.
And I also wanted to add that we will be going into each no-no in more detail and depth. But we wanted this first video to be just an intro to the book. And we do further videos on each of the no-nos.
They're juicy.
Is that it for today?
I think so. Hey, any final, or Laura?
We need finals. for me to have a short space to describe something and describe some of this stuff, the spiritual stuff, it's a little difficult trying to shorten it all up. But this is a book about getting us free. And one of the things that we realize when we start doing this is that the people who gave you that corruption and the backwards thinking from the time you were born, probably, they meant well. But it's all upside down and backwards, and their imprint is still there in you on that no, on that blind belief. And they're not to blame if it's your parents or your siblings or teacher or some minister or something that shows up with a particular no that they barked at you a lot about that. Don't blame them. Don't throw darts at them. Don't be angry at them. Don't blame yourself. Don't throw darts at yourself. Doesn't help anything. This stuff has been going on for not just hundreds of years, but thousands of years. This pattern, this part of our culture, it spans millennia. And we need to come to terms with that in ourselves. We have to realize that there's nobody to blame. We're not. Our parents are not. Nobody else is. But we are the ones responsible for changing it. And the ancients say we have a chance to change it and change the world and not blow ourselves up. We hear a lot of talk about this is the end of a particular world. This is an era. And we're at the end of it and it's falling apart. What I wanted to point out was that all these different people, including yourself, that you might want to try to blame for all getting you in this pickle. And it's just not real. That's not real. It's been here, it's been passed down. And those people who say those things, they never knew you. They never knew your song. They never knew your song was. Your song was the truth, the authentic truth, the reality and what you are. Any of those people, they've never known your song. It's a little heartbreaking when you think of it, because people closest to you, they may have felt seen as a little pinch, little speck, sparkle of your song was wild, but most of they see a picture of you that's not real. Oh, there goes somebody else. We're trying to
Sit
find
back.
our authenticness, our authentic self. And that's what we need to do. The Indian said, everybody needs to do that. We need to clean up inside of ourselves because we are feeling and breathing inside ourselves because we do it and all that. That is going out in the world, creates the whole world. So, like it or not, you need to come to terms with the fact we are creating the reality we see around us on this whole planet with the whole population, what we've done to the environment, with what we're trying to do to the aliens. everything. It is a reflection of what's going on, the corruption and backwardness that we have inside ourselves. So if we can clean it up, we have enough people keep cleaning it up. It's contagious. People notice, they want the same thing. They start copying you, and it spreads like an infection. Some kind of contagion through the population. The ancients said, we have a chance to do this. Now, there were other people, civilizations that lived a very long time ago, way pre-flood and way pre-flood. We've had several, and they got very highly technically developed. And they had bombs and all that kind of stuff, and they went to war, and they literally blew themselves up. They killed each other and themselves. And this has happened over and over, and we're at that very same place all over again. We haven't learned how to grow up. We're like little infants, little babies. We haven't learned how to grow up. And we have to start growing up in order to wake up. And that's what the 7 No-Nos do. That's what this book is all about. That's what our teachings, we call them katasi. This is the katasi way of being. That's what my elders said. Katasi means balance. We are working together to bring the world back in balance. And that's what we need. We need to keep marching towards and do and create. We have to open our eyes and be honest with ourselves when we do this about everything inside ourselves and everything in the world. And then we can survive this time of an ending world with all the craziness and the violence and the forever wars and the chaos.
And not just surviving, but thriving.
Thriving. Making a new world. One based on love and beauty and peace and our connectedness to everything and the concepts that everything is alive. Every little atom, everywhere in the universe, every rock, every plant, everything is alive. And that means they're conscious and they're radiating. You can feel them. And they're thinking, feeling, taking action, making decisions. Everything. How can we go around smashing and killing everything and be really reckless with all this life and this beauty? How can we keep doing that? We can't. We're gonna end up like our predecessors, and there won't be a single one of us left.
On that
note,
We got this.
is the QR code and the link to Amazon. You can also go to our website at katase.com. It's KATASEE.com. And thank you for joining us. And we will be back with a lot more on the no-nos going forward. All right. Until next time.
Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.